And I forget, the one thing I went live earlier to mention was that this, probably the most important piece of all this. So in North Carolina, there's like a 3 to 5 year waiting list for government subsidized housing. Like, you're on a waiting list for 3 to 5 years, not just in Charlotte, but in the entire state. There's no like immediate move-ins. So when you hear the Department of Social Services over there in Union County allowing someone to unlawfully, I said unlawfully because self-evictions are illegal in North Carolina. So when you have a temporary safety provider unlawfully evicting a mentally ill woman, sending her off to La La Land, because that's pretty much what she did, like, just go get a new life. And you know that there's a 3 to 5 year waiting list on housing like that. You're setting a woman up to live in a shelter for 3 to 5 years, because like money only goes so far, right? So why would the Department of Social Services in Union County like do that to anybody? Because, because you wanted the outcome. Not only did they like manipulate things for the outcome to be what it is, but they're so pissed at me because I have friends, I know people, and nobody had to do anything illegal to do anything. I just know people, and they know that I'm a good mom, and they wanted to help me, and they didn't want to see me homeless because they're friends or their acquaintances or whatever. And good people don't like to see harm being done to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. So they help. Just like how, all these people helped DSS, make fake evidence and shit like that. Like, I actually had people on my side, not on my side, because I don't make people take sides. There's no need. But I had people that were helping me by keeping an ear to the ground, by, something comes up, okay, you got to do this quick, and it did. It did. When all over the state filling out applications, I still have not heard from any of those properties. I still have not made it to the top of the waiting list. And there was 17. All over the state. All over the state. Can I say that again? All over the state. So, like, you needed money and resources for all that. So, like, nobody understands what I did with all my money. Well, I can account for every penny of it. And it pisses me off that I had to, use my inheritance for all that shit. I mean, I just received it. So, like, gross. But when you have a social services agency, which is supposed to be to help people, to understand what abuse is and like get people out of domestic violence and people with mental illness, that's your go-to people. When they start fucking around with shit like committing abuse or making fake evidence, this is a government agency. When they do that level of corrupt bullshit, you're going to have huge problems. Like, that's my only thing. Like, I see it as like a recipe for disaster. Like I say, like, I only probably know the tip of the iceberg because that's all I want to know. I'm not trying to get involved in illegal activity. I don't do illegal activity. I just report it. And reporting illegal activity, unfortunately, landed my daughter and I some hot water. But I didn't know. I just know that I only know what I know. And when I know and I see all these workings going on and me like spending every penny that I ever had and then some, because I took out credit cards, like, I know that that's not a good thing for someone else who might not have the ability to take out a credit card and do those things. I should have had to do it. And then you have the government, like, who you have to like basically get their permission to sue them. Great. Okay, so they fucked up these incompetent caseworkers and attorneys who don't know anything about mental illness. They're like literally like they're using it as a template for someone who has an intellectual disability. I'm not in that category. But of course, like Katie and Mark, they're all like I hear like in the videos. I say that laughing because like I think my Uncle Tom thought I was hearing things in my head when I was saying, yeah, I could hear them on the security camera. Like, they're laughing about this. They think they're having the time of their life. And I'm over here like freaking out. Like, hello? I think it took, I mean, I don't know. I only know what I know. No, I'm not hearing voices like that. Like, mom left the camera on. Strategically. So, I still wonder why the fuck she was coming here for 30 days on day one. Where'd you stay, Mom? Where were you? Carmen didn't see you. I didn't see you. Like, where were you? 30 days. She knew when this was going to go down. She knew what day. She probably even got her flight arrangements. Feds, look at that. When did you get her flight arrangements to come here for October 30th or 31st? She can't seem to remember the date when she's talking to people on the phone. So I'm wondering, like, is that even real? You know what I mean? You question everything. But why does she say she reserved a car for over 30 days? She says, I quote, over 30 days. Because what was she going to do? And then, of course, if she says to you, like, oh, I was going to come and stay there so Kelly could go to the ranch for 30 days. Back up. Number one. That would have been nice. I would have loved to go to the ranch for 30 days. Like, for real, I would have loved it. But she left. Martha left when, like, Maura wasn't part of the equation. So what's she doing with my daughter? Why is she trying to get to her? Why right when she knew, like, I don't know if she knew. She probably heard through the grapevine, like, I was bringing Maura to therapy. We were going to get to the bottom of what happened during that 10 days, Martha. We were. Because I know her therapist was going to definitely get to the bottom of it. I know I was going to be all over it, like a fucking fat kid on cake, because that's me, fat kid on cake. And whoopsie, all of a sudden, it got serious. Martha zooms in, and then she's going to, like, my daughter's therapist and her pediatrician and whoever she can, telling them, I'm so mentally ill. I was so verbally abusive. And then you've got Red over there talking about abuse and all his restraining orders, and I don't know what level of abuse he's talking about, because they're all just pulling it out of their ass. They're all being totally dramatic, and then someone's covering for them. So they send Red, I don't know who they is, but Red goes to get this restraining order in Richmond County, lies to another judge. Like, that's a level of fucked up this man is. Like, he has no problem lying to anybody, as long as it's going to get him money. You know what I mean? Like his mama, he's nothing to look at, but he's got money. She does. She, like, leaves her mouth open, like, undramatic. Like, do you know what you look like right now? I'm probably a bagel in my teeth, but I really don't care. Anyway, I don't live for those voices in my head telling me what other people think. Sorry, not sorry. You all beat me the fuck down in every way, shape, or form. You hit all the main financial, emotional, or whatever, physical, property. You tapped me out in every which way that you could that would absolutely cause anyone to psychologically break down. Like, and this is a government agency. So, like, when I said to my Uncle Tom, like, am I a scientific experiment? Like, this is like terrorism, homegrown terrorism. Like, and why? What do you guys, I know that I'm not so important and, like, I can be silenced. All you got to do to silence me is give me back my daughter, and I have nothing left else to say. I'm worried about her. That's how I live my life. I don't have anything to say, but I'm going to have everything to say as long as I don't know my daughter's safe. They don't know my daughter's safe because, well, caseworkers who are writing, court summaries, and they don't even know anything about the child are clearly not even going to check on the child, right? So, but then they're also saying, like, oh, she's got a bedroom in Hamlet. Are you sure? I don't believe anything you say when I see you writing court summaries 3 months in advance, and I see you talking about my daughter like it's a phase. No, Maura's always done that, and there's a reason for it, but you don't know anything about my daughter, but you're going to make a great decision for the overall outcome of this child, right? Not. No, you don't even know Maura. You're listening to people who don't even know Maura. You understand that, right? Like, you gave her to strangers. Red, stranger. Emma, stranger. Stranger danger. That's what I taught her. Stranger danger. So, thanks for breaking every rule in my book. Stranger danger. I always learned from a pediatrician, by the way, best way to protect your children from, being sexually assaulted or anyway trying is to never let them keep a secret from you. So Maura knows, don't keep any secrets from mommy. And you could hear her in those videos. I was seeing her. So I saw it and heard it at the same time. And it was like in shockland, but totally lying to me. Well, why is a caseworker making her keep secrets? Why is any adult making Maura keep a secret? Why are people trying to communicate with me through Maura? Because that happened on April 2nd during those visitations. Like, don't put my dad in jail. What would I have to put Red in jail for? Why was Red concerned about jail? And why would the caseworker come in there and be like, bop, 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 bop. Excuse me, redirect. I keep listening to those videos over and over again, just similar to how I keep, I have a long list. Those videos from the security camera that Martha was having the time of her life with. Like, I've never seen anybody. So, and I know, like, my family members were on the other end because I could hear their voices. But like, I don't know why. Martha's having the time of her life. She's had like this whole situation was like 20 years of like built up attention, I guess she needed. I don't know. All I know is what I know. And you know I don't know everything, by the way. I'm well aware that like I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not one of those. I'm not like my family that way. Like I know I don't know it all. I know I only know what I know. I love learning new things. If you don't learn something new every day, you're not living. But I mean living is one thing, you know, where you're just sustaining, you're just living, breathing, eating, living, but then there's living your life. You know what I mean? I don't know. TikTok. Martha. You're something, girl. You are some. You're a piece of fucking work and then some. Like, I thought you were bad. I thought you were really bad. Of course, like, you know, she gets this restraining, that restraining order. Like, she just wanted to shut me the fuck up. Or she just wanted to, like, make me so mad that she thinks, like, when I get mad, like, my brain stops working. Because totally, when this all started happening, oh, yeah. Emotional dysregulation, I was raging. In my room, like, just telling the whole world because, like, it felt so wrong. That's exactly what I was doing. It felt wrong. It felt like my daughter was kidnapped. And I was, like, begging for someone to help me. That's exactly what that was. So when everybody thinks, like, the attorneys think that I was, like, just shaming on them or da-da. No, that's my thinking was, like, my daughter was kidnapped. They won't give me her back. And I'm, like, paying this ransom and then some, and they still won't give me her back. So that's why I went on social media. Like, oh, you just wanted to, you know, hurt our feelings. No. I wanted my daughter to be safe. I knew this was very fucking wrong. I didn't know how wrong, how corrupt. I still don't know how deep it goes. But when you know what you know, and you're just like a woman who, like, wants her daughter safe, you don't give a fuck. You want to make sure everybody's watching. You know what I mean? Watching. Because the minute you're not watching anymore, see, that's when Red puts her in the backseat of the car and goes score some coke, drinking and driving, and she's dead. And what good is a dead child? Someone would say to me something about a lawsuit. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no. And I see Carmen like, no. You want your child. Fuck the money. Fuck the lawsuit. You want your baby back. Like, I see this with Carmen. It's not about money. It's not about wrongdoing. It's about, well, I mean, with Corey, it's a situation of, well, Corey's story wasn't over yet, so something big needs to come from what happened to Corey because it was wrong. He was in his home, privacy, was, you know, doing his thing, and like bad people who definitely should have been not on the streets. And there was an opportunity for him to be taken off the streets, and he should have been. Probation officer knew damn well that this man was the man who killed him was a dangerous man, and she's just like making phone calls. No, get off your fucking ass and find him, because now Corey is not here because of him. Like, there's a reason for probation officers and shit like that. They have to be accountable. But I see now, like, with our government, oh no, you have to get their permission to sue them. Well, I'm not trying to sue them for, like, the money. I'm trying to sue them for change. Because what you're doing is ridiculous. It's like, you know, insanity is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, that's kind of what's going on. Do the same thing over and over again, thinking of a change, and, like, you need change. Change is okay. I'm not really good with change myself. Like, I have to ease into it per se. But if you want to attack a woman and like take everything that she set up in her little comfort zone that most people do, and just take it all and be like, your fault, you did it. Okay, that's first A, really immature. That's emotional immaturity at its finest. But B, expect damage, expect rage, expect anger, expect all kinds of feelings and emotional dysregulation. Anybody. That's not mental illness. That's normal human behavior. It's normal human behavior when your kid gets kidnapped to want the whole world to know and help you. That's not saying something bad about the DSS attorney. Well, I mean, I am, but I didn't even know you were involved, lady, at the time. I only knew you were involved when I showed up in court for the first court hearing. And the DSS attorney is like, going hard for Red. I'm like, wait a minute, he's got two attorneys? Oh, wait, that's the DSS attorney? Wait, what? That's not a conflict of interest or anything, right? No, not at all. And then you got, like, DSS. I'm telling you, man, the guardian ad litem program, same thing. They're like a cheerleader for red. I'm like, what's going on here? I lost it that day. That was November 14th, 2023. Mind you, like, I had no idea what's going on, but I'm in like La La Land, meeting another town, wasting money while Martha's on the camera saying, oh, I don't know why she's spending all this money. Probably because you kicked me out of my own home unlawfully. And, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, eat out of a garbage can and live under a tree? And then Carmen was like, you can, you know, stay in my extra bedroom up until, then that's where the restraining order started. Like blocking. I'm telling you, it was like block, 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 block. Guess what? They're so fucking pissed. Because I took those blocks and I threw them out the window for them. You're not going to block me from what? I guess like God? I'll give it to God. I don't just like pray to God when I need something. I thank him all the time for letting me live, for like not damaging my kidneys and my liver. I shouldn't be here. I should be in dialysis. All that, you know, for bringing my daughter into my life because she's my saving grace, and to bless other people too who maybe don't quite realize what they're doing yet, you know, before it gets to a point like this. You can't. You're not God. If you're not God, you should be making decisions and manipulating evidence to get it done, because you're blocking what, like, I can say what God wants. I'm not God, but you're blocking people from what they should have, or how things should go if it was done right by legal standards or moral standards. Making up evidence and bullshit like that is really just fraud. Fraud. Oh, this was fraud. I knew it from the start. How did I know? I'll say it again. People making abuse reports about things that they didn't know was going on. They probably heard like a touch of the story, kind of like the broken window story with my Aunt Betsy. So I don't get off. I'm all on these tangents. Make a long story bearable. And I was saying, like, I broke the window, meaning I forced it open. She thought I meant I broke it, like, you know, glass shattering, breaking. And break really wasn't even the right word because it was a lock. So, like, you know, I used one word. And then, of course, when she was telling Martha, she used the word broke. And then, you know, Martha and Mark are, like, sending me all these emails, like, you broke the window, and then sending people around the house to see these broken windows that weren't really broken. And it's kind of the game of telephone. That's how it gets so out of control. My family is still in like 1700s thinking that they still play the game of telephone. They still play, I'm going to block you, but you're really not blocked. You know, like, you're still here. You're still. And when you see somebody who's going to great lengths to cut off communication with you and another party, be very suspicious of them. Because why would they block your communication? Why would they not want you to know both sides of a story? Or three, because all stories have three sides. One side, it's like waiting for a